Hi everybody, welcome to Chapter 6. In this series of video exercises, we're going to be working with pivot tables. Your role as an accountant goes beyond recording financial transactions and presenting static financial information. The accountant is in a unique position to provide insights into the operations of an organization by using tools like Excel and pivot tables to analyze financial data. Pivot tables are powerful tools. Their power lies in their ability to save us from a lot of tedious work and their ability to reveal patterns and relationships that it would otherwise take us a long time to uncover manually. But it is the accountant, not Excel, who decides what fields to look at, what information is significant, which direction to go next, and how to present the findings. As always, please do 3 things before you start working on this demonstration assignment. First, be sure you have thoroughly read Chapter 6 in the textbook and used Excel to work through some of the pivot table examples shown in the chapter. You will need the in-depth information in the chapter because these videos are just going to show some of the chapter highlights. Second, print or download the PDF instructions for the assignment so you can see the step-by-step process we'll follow. And third, download the Excel workbook so you can work along with these videos and prepare your Chapter 6 demonstration assignment. In this video, we'll create a pivot table to analyze sales by customer. On the data worksheet, you are given information about sales and accounts receivable for the month of December. The worksheet includes an aging of accounts receivable into current and past due amounts. As you can see, the past due amounts are categorized into aging categories of current, 0 to 30 days past due, 30 to 60 days past due, 60 to 90 days past due, and more than 90 days past due. Let's begin by highlighting the data from A2 to N38. Notice I did not pick up the totals for our columns. Then click on the Insert tab, and on the far left side, click on Pivot Table, and choose New Worksheet. Click OK. And Excel automatically creates a new worksheet for us. On the far right side of the new worksheet, Excel has given us pivot table fields. All of the information that's included on the data worksheet has been summarized into column headings, and it's up to us to select the data that will be most useful to accomplish the goal of our pivot table. In this example, that goal is to provide a schedule of sales by customer. We do not want to clutter up our pivot table with unnecessary information. And we do not need most of the information shown here to accomplish our goal. What we do need, definitely, is the customer name and amount invoiced. By making those 2 selections, customer name and amount invoiced, we've prepared a pretty nice little table in just a few seconds of sales by customer. We're going to clean this up, make it more presentable from an accounting point of view, but we're more than halfway there at this point. If you'll notice, when we clicked on customer name and amount invoiced, Excel automatically put the customer name in rows, which is working well for us in this example, and the sum of the amount invoiced to each customer in the values. I want you to know that you have a lot of control over what your schedule looks like by moving the elements from one of these boxes to another. And don't be afraid to experiment. If you don't like the way something looks, move these elements to a different box. You can always put them back in the same box, and if by some chance you totally mess up the entire schedule, don't worry about it. Eliminate this worksheet, not the data worksheet, but eliminate the new worksheet, go back to the data worksheet, and start all over again. It only took us seconds to get to this spot. So don't be afraid to experiment. I'm going to go ahead and just move the customer name, drag it into the columns. I'm going to drag some of invoices into columns and just see what we get. Well, that kind of messed up our schedule. It's a mess. It's not useful at all. Easy to solve. Drag the customer name back down to the rows and the amount invoiced back down to values, and we're back to where we began, which is a nice schedule. We'll keep it in this order. Now we're going to fix this schedule up from an accountant's point of view so it's more presentable to the users of this financial information. First of all, it's kind of small and buried into a far left area of this worksheet. Let's go ahead and straighten that up a little bit. First of all, let's go back to the Home tab. It's automatically given us Calibri 11 font. I'd like to see a little bit larger font, and you can leave it as Calibri, that's totally okay, but I'm going to change it to Arial 12. The easiest way to change the font and font size is just simply highlight the entire workbook, click on Font, Arial 12. So that's given us a little bit larger font. The next thing I'd like to do is to just show it a little bit bigger on this page. And I'm going to do that by going to about 140% in the gradient scale on the far bottom, far right side of the Excel spreadsheet. So that's given us some larger font size, an easy font to read, and it's made it big enough on the page where I don't have to strain my eyes to look at it. Now the next thing is presenting the information in our pivot table itself. Some of the amount invoiced just does not make much sense to users of this financial statement. The column title Total Sales would make a lot more sense. To change the name of this column title, you need to get to your value field settings, and there's a couple of ways to do that. Notice that our pivot table field options has disappeared. Easy to get it back. Just click anywhere in the pivot table and they come back. There are a couple of ways to get to the value field settings. The first way is to go down into your values box, click on this little down arrow, and choose value field settings. When you bring up the value field settings box, there's a number of things that you can do, one of which is to change the name of this heading. I'm going to type in total sales here. So by typing in total sales, it will, when I click OK, it will change the name of this heading here to total sales. But while I'm here, I want to format the numbers font. Notice in Value Field Settings, in the bottom left corner, is Number Font. And that brings up a very familiar screen. Format your numbers. Let's go ahead and choose Number, no decimals, and definitely use a comma. And click OK. And now we've changed the name of the column and the font. Let's click OK again. There we go. Total sales. And we've got a number font that is quite usable with commas separating the hundreds and the millions. The next thing we want to do is to sort from the largest to the smallest customers, sales to customers, largest to smallest. Easy to do. On the row label, there's a little down arrow. Click that down arrow and select More Sort Options. We want to go descending, but not by customer name. That would give us alphabetical listing. What we want is to sort descending by total sales, and click OK. All right, I think we have a very usable worksheet to present to the boss. Total sales by customer in descending order. ABC Company we had most sales to ABC Company and the least amount of sales to PQR Company. So that's the end of this video. In our next video, we'll do some more analysis of the information by creating another pivot table. But before we finish, very important, I want you to change the name of this worksheet to Sales by Customers. And when I look at your final submitted assignment, it'll be much easier for me if you everybody organizes their assignment in the same manner. So each worksheet we create, I want you to drag and put it to the right of the data worksheet. So we keep building to the right with all of our new worksheets. So I just dragged this worksheet to the right of data worksheet. The next one I'm going to put to the right of the sales by customers. Okay, that is it for this video. I'll see you next time.